and then we take it higher.
Oh, good afternoon, gentlemen. Appreciate your patience with me always on these intros, man. Once again, nothing has changed in our highest scoring leaders, neither has our lower scoring leaders. Still held down by Jason D with 229.75. Hope everybody's doing good today, man. Week 4 rankings. Appreciate your patience. Sorry I'm a little bit late on it, man. Just life. You feel me? Let's get right into it. Which is right here. I'm already on that page. You dig? All right, so number 12. I honestly don't think it should be any surprise as to who it is. You got to be McKinney. I mean, I am pretty sure you changed your name again, if I'm not mistaken. But we're gonna roll with this one from week 4, Shaq. Unfortunately, you're still chasing that win, brother. Let's see what happened with your week. You played another team chasing a win, man. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here for a second, man. And it was a short and it was a close win, huh? Sheesh. All right. CJ Stroud had a good game, man. Not bad. I see that you traded him, if I'm not mistaken. Stroud is what, the 11th best quarterback? I know we were discussing on dynasty values and all this stuff, man. I know we can get to it later, but in my opinion, man, he's fire. He's good, but a quarterback can only be so much in a single QB league, man, But he definitely had a good performance, man. Good on you. Glad you got one out of him before he left. David Montgomery continues to ball out. JK, Trey Tucker, man. I'm glad that he balled out for you, bro. He's been low key good, and I see you traded him. Christian Kirk finally pays off. I'm glad that you finally started to put Ertz in your lineup. Still doing better than Schultz, man. I know you weren't expecting that performance from Love. Uh, Now you're back to, well, you have one less quarterback, so it's easier for you to start Love going forward, man. I think he'll be all right. Jordan Addison had a decent game for a change, if I'm not mistaken. I really haven't peeped his stats, but I know he hasn't returned the value that everybody thought he would. Wide receiver 62, dog. That's fucking ugly to look at. Yeah, 3 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown, man. Not bad. Healthier by the week. He's got the Jets next week, so definitely not getting Justin Jefferson coverage. So this might be a Jordan Addison game coming up. Then going into bye week, Detroit. Hopefully there's better days for Addison, bro. I don't recall the trade that you made. Go ahead and take a look, if I'm not mistaken, on the recent activity. This trade was Trey Tucker, CJ Stroud, Kirk in a 3rd-round pick. It's actually one of the fairest trades that I've seen between two of these fucking snakes, for Chris and for Shaq to get a trade done. I'd like to know a little background on how long this took, man, but down the line, man, this is great for both of you guys. And you got a quarterback in return with Brock Purdy, Brian Robinson, Darnell Mooney. As you can see, man, he looks like a bona fide wide receiver 1, bro. So that's great to have him, man. Kirk, I don't like his upside. I think the best out of it was CJ Stroud as far as Chris situating a QB for the future for him, man. So good with you on that, bro. Let's not get lost in the weeds as far as that trade. But man, Shaq, bro, ugly out here, dog. Hopefully there's better days for you, man. Moving on to number 11. Curve. Still 1-3, sir. Haven't won since week 1, if I'm not mistaken. Go to week 4. Who did you play, my good man? You played the money team, man. That was the game that Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry had a game. Nico Collins balled out, bro. Somehow, some way, Danny found a way to start assembling a pretty decent squad, man. This wasn't the week that Kyle Pitts balled out, so that sucks to see. But you didn't even need that when you have somebody like Derrick Henry dropping 35 points, man. ridiculous. Um, Another fire bona fide starting game from Nico Collins. St. Brown continues to return that investment, and he's still a stud. In my opinion, he's in our league in in high society. He's definitely top 5. I want to even say top 2 to me in my heart. Maybe it's just personal biasm, but it's got to be Justin Jefferson. But fuck, at St. Brown's price, man, by far, Danny has the best third round pick ever for $8. $8, man. It could be 1A, 1A with Justin Jefferson and St. Brown. Maybe just longer body of work. We're gonna go with Jefferson. But fuck, $8 for a top 10 wide receiver, and he should definitely be probably top 5 with some of these games. Nico Collins is somebody that we can talk about too, man. Great 2 snags, money team. Respect, man. Really starting to be concerned about Mahomes, bro. I know you kind of thought that you would have a set it and forget a player, but Mahomes has been subpar to say the least. And let's just say, do you have any other putting up fucking Aaron Rodgers numbers, man? I know it's not what you expected, man. You're at least hoping to win that matchup on a weekly basis, and he's quarterback 17. He's averaging 17 points a game, bro. It's hard I have him in some leagues, and it's hard for me to bench him. But fuck, bro. Still, today RB2 wasn't an issue for you, but it needs to be something that you got to address hopefully sooner than later. Justice Hill can be slid into that slot, but that leaves you a vulnerable spot. You still got to address that, man. Great game from Goff. You had him for a while too, man. Is Goff a better start over this guy who's quarterback 15? Like, that's crazy. In real life, that's not even something we can discuss. But here in fucking fantasy, Jared Goff is in the likes of Patrick Mahomes, man. Good shit, money team. There's not too much to say, man. You get your shit up, bro. But fucking Curve, man. Man, that's I don't even know what to say here, bro. This shit, a lot of fucking zeros. Do you have anybody? You could have played Ty Chandler. You got Clyde Edward-Helaire on your bench, bro. Are you sleeping at the wheel, man? I'm not sure what's going on, bro. Celebrating your first win, but aside from that, dog, like, it looks like you're kind of setting and forgetting these squads, man. We're discussing you, and I went ham and talking about Danny and the money team. That's how high I am. But to highlight how uneventful this fucking squad is, Curve. I'm so sorry, guys. Completely got sidetracked to what I was talking about because we are definitely discussing Curve. But man, moving on to number 10, Mr. Jason D, getting your first win, moving up one spot in the rankings, Jason. I know it's got to have been a relief to get that win, bro. It was a close matchup between you and Shaq. It was, man. Your ride or die Kyler Murray. For Mr. Matthew Berry's ride or die Kyler Murray was out there, bro. Another game from Deontay Johnson. I know you got to love that, bro. He's finally starting to return that moderate investment that you made in him. EJ Speed, Nick Cross. Don't know who the fuck Nick Cross is, but glad that he can put up some points. Bro, it hurt Younghoe Koo dropping this motherfucker and him dropping 20 for you, bro. I'm glad that he helped you get that win, man. Aaron Jones continues to be a stud, bro. RB6, like 18 points a game, man. That's fucking fire. Glad to see T. Higgins have a solid performance, man. I hope he's nothing but building off of that. Kincaid, better. It's terrible out there with these tight end situations, man. So glad to see Kincaid not give you what he gave you last week, but 5 for 47. That's not bad at all, bro. On 7 targets, that's You'll take that. Take that all day. TJ Watt. I'm not sure what happened here, but rarely does that happen, bro. I'm sure you're gonna have. This means that you're brewing for a fucking 20 piece, 30 piece from TJ Watt. Uh, your IDPs are solid, bro. Everything is solid on your straight on your squad. I wouldn't want to say solid, man. I feel like the problem is that you're devoid of a talent, superstar talent. But then again, man, the season is not over, so you have plenty of time to embolden and empower your argument of you won't spend a certain amount of money on a guy. I hear that. I respect that, man. You have a very deep squad, guys that I'm sure people you get asked for left and right, but you're missing that CMC, which again I can't talk shit because I'm missing CMC. Uh, good win, bro. Good win. That's all we can say, man. Let's glad to see you moving up the chart, and I hope to see you continue to rank next week, bro. Level up. Number 9 is Mr. Money Team. Mr. Money Team, you got your first win, and I pretty much jocked your team already, man. So we'll gloss over it real quick. 177, bro. Man, that's balling. Again, man, Patrick Mahomes is a concern. Nico Collins, bro, can he number 1 wide receiver, bro? I didn't know that, but at the price that you have him for $4, is he in the argument of in that top 5 dynasty players for society, man? Good on you, bro, to be able to get these 2 guys for the fucking low. That's great management on your end, bro. Great management. Nothing but respect for you and your squad money team. Glad to see you get a win, bro. Keep building, you ugly fuck. Moving on to number 8. Mr. Andrew, what are you doing? I love this fucking name, bro. Man, you kind of dropped down hard because of I believe it was a back-to-back loss. But at this point, again, I'm starting to factor in points. That's going to be the tiebreaker between where I'm separating you guys. But bro, putting up barely 100 points, man, is rough. I know that this is a fire squad, and I'm pretty sure you'll be bouncing back next week with a good performance from your players. But anytime you get 100 points, you're gonna drop down. You're gonna drop down, bro. Josh Allen, man, like it was just a fucking ass whooping from Baltimore, man. Better signs to come from Josh Allen and James Cook, bro. Another back-to-back solid performance from Tony P, man. So your embarrassment of riches at running back, bro, is continuing to, at the very least, pay dividend and win your matchups. You know, let's look at your other running back. You beat Zach Moss. It's hard to fucking beat Jahmyr Gibbs, man. But look at James Conner. Remember we talked about last week, he had a down game, and here he comes back with another fire performance, man. RB1, RB2, and having James in the flex, you know, that looks pretty fucking well for this team, man. It's just when you get less than 10 points from your quarterback, that's going to be rough, man. It's supposed to be majority of points. I don't know what you're going to do with Waddle, bro. Like, I don't even know if he's startable anymore, man. You might have to consider starting Keon Coleman. I heard you putting in that request for a fire wide receiver, bro. So maybe you trade one of these fire running backs that you got, man. Maybe you offload some of these draft picks that you own if you're really interested, man. But again, for a guy that is rebuilding, your squad looks good, bro. And look at all this fucking riches of draft picks on the bench, man. Good shit. Trey Sermon, fuck you. Getting him. Tank Bigsby, Keon Coleman. Like, man, you got stuff here, bro. And your lineup is thin, but definitely more than enough to compete and even, dare I say, make the playoffs, man. It's everybody's bunched together, bro. So you're dropping down some spots really ain't shit. It changes on a weekly basis, man. So keep on keeping on, guy. And we'll see. Moving on to number 7. Mr. Small Dick Energy, Christopher Wallace. Such a nice guy. Mr. Small Dick Energy, man. You failed to come against John, man. It was a nail biter for sure. Got a decent performance out of Brock Purdy, but I see this is why you're upgrading your quarterback position. Devon Achane, man. It's tough, bro. It's fucking tough with these Miami players that you were hoping to get a much different outcome. They'll be back, bro. Hopefully sometime sooner than later. We're going into week 5, another 3 weeks before Tua can possibly come back. I really honestly think Snoop Huntley can become serviceable, but the rest of your team, man, you just had a down week. Darnell Mooney, great add and pick up. Sam Laporta, at the very least, is putting up serviceable numbers. Jordan Mason, again, continues to be a great add for you. Fred Warner had a bounce-back game. Your IDPs kind of let you down in this performance as well. You were right there, bro. I don't know what else I can possibly say, man. You got rid of Brian Robinson, so I know you don't own him. Bucky Irving, you have depth. Braylon Allen is somebody that at the very least Slater will be a force. Maybe even something that's a flex-worthy play. You got players here, bro. Tank Dell should be back hopefully soon. JJ McCarthy and Tua are projects, to say the least. But tough loss. You're again 2-2, man. You're really there in the middle with everybody else, so you're not really sliding too much. Better days ahead for you, bro. Number 6 is Mr. Palestine. Dropped down 1 spot, and I believe that's because you caught a loss, Kamal. You did, and that was a loss to me, bro. It's rough, man, when your star wide receivers both go out with injury. We're still waiting to see what's going on with Rashee Rice. I saw they put him on a short-term IR. Best case scenario, he'll be back in 4 to 8 weeks, maybe in time for the playoffs, maybe something that doesn't mean anything for you fantasy-wise, but it's good to know that he is not going to be injured long-term. You don't want to have any of that. Malik Neighbors is not going to play this week. Carson Steele looks like he lost his job to Hunt. Stevenson had a better game than last week. Fields is balling, bro. I am not sure how he overlooked. Your IDPs did well as usual. You're looking for that D lineman, but everything else is looking pretty good, brother. I am not mad at that. Antonio Gibson could be a nice stash. I'm glad that you were able to handcuff the New England situation because they are discussing on making a change of seating. Tajay Spears, I believe, got in the box, but I don't think that he's anybody that you wouldn't consider to playing. Main thing right here is that we haven't talked about is that Jonathan Brooks looks like he's warming up and getting ready to go. A.J. Brown might be coming back soon, man. This is a scary team that, again, is 500 right now with key players not in the game. I do like your team. Better days are ahead for you, man, for sure. Like I can continue to say, look at Worthy, another good performance. Shakir is a solid flex play at best with wide receiver 2 upside. You constructed a very great team, sir. I commend you and just keep on like you're again in the middle of the pack with everybody else, and you really should be a lot higher. Moving on to number 5 is myself going up 3 spots. Ugly wins, but wins they are regardless. Hurts, bro, is fucking killing me. Bijan, what the fuck? Marvin Harrison continues to be a nice set it and forget it. Wide receivers help me out. Jonathan Taylor, man, has been a godsend. Ernest Jones, Tutu did what I needed from him. Ernest Jones and my IDPs did not do anything for me. Goddard gave me something, but he's on bye next week. I scraped away this win because he had injuries. I'll take the win, but it's looking shaky out there at best. Hopefully I can finally put a performance with everybody together and warrant the spot that I'm climbing up to. Moving on to number 4 is Nick. I put Nick ahead of me, even though I have a better record, just because, again, I think that I am just a product of the fantasy gods being on my side. And Nick, his team is just putting up points, man. Just a down week for you. And could that have been if you start Baker? No, you just would have caught the loss regardless, I think. But you're putting up points, man. Your team is scary. Just an off week for you. And that's why you dropped a couple of spots. But in reality, again, I think your team is a lot better than your overall record reflects. It's going to be a tough decision with Baker and Jaden, who you're going to start. Blake Corum, do you regret taking him at 105? Could that have been a better allocation of a draft pick? I understand being a guy who always takes running backs in the first round, so I get it, but so concerned with needing to handcuff him, do you feel that you, again, could have used your pick a lot better for another position? Alan Lazard somehow, some way continues to be a thorn in Garrett Wilson's side. He's open, he's going to catch the ball. It's good to know that if you need a bye week, you have a flex fill in, or if one of your wide receivers goes out. But man, you have a strong, very strong team. Kyron Williams and Saquon are fire. Devin Singletary is flex worthy. He just didn't show up today. Division game, understandable. Ugly ass game that if I recall. But you're doing pretty well, man. You're averaging 146 points a game. That's not bad at all. Moving on to number 3 is Mike. Mike, you climbed up 3 spots. And that is Mr. Mike. Let me pull up your roster. Close win, but again, wins are wins. Anthony Richardson goes out with this game. The rest of your team does have a solid enough performance to help you out. Are you concerned with Garrett Wilson? Talent is there, man. They just keep covering him, and they're scheming up ways specifically to not give him the rock. So I just think talent will prevail. In the meantime, you do have other solid wide receivers that you can play. You're getting something out of Parkinson. IDP's solid performance. That's what I believe helped get you over the win, because you and his quarterbacks both shit the bed and went out. Well, your quarterback went out. Not regarding the investment, because I said it's too soon, but man, it's at least paused to cause and may have possibly contributed to some losses. Maybe not to you, but anybody else who may have started him. 30, 11, and 5-5. Those are not, the 11 and 5-5 are certainly not what you want. The last game he didn't finish, but the 11 and 5, that's terrible. Terrible. Wins are wins, man. 3-1. You put up a very decent amount of points. I believe that is why you were up this high as well. And just keep doing well, Mike. Mike Evans with a 23 piece on the bench. Jaden Reed now is somebody that you can have confidence in putting back in your lineup, man. Trevor Lawrence, good to see him have a good game, but I far from your confidence in starting that fucking faggot. Wan'Dale Robinson, he seems to be a fucking cheat code for PPRs, bro. You don't want to start him, but man, he will produce. Good win. I definitely think that you are a power horse to make a strong run in the playoffs. Moving on to number 2, Mr. John Joan Bones. I know John is dying to get to the number 1 spot, John. One of these days, Alice, one of these days. Nice close win against your rival, your man Chris. Didn't Dak. Fucking hate him, but he's putting up points for you. Alvin, another strong performance. I believe he's running back 1 for this last week. Man, so that was a good, worthwhile investment. I believe you traded your 111 for him close to the draft. Zach Charbonnet, RB2 numbers, man. Juwan Jennings doing well. Your wide receivers, Conklin, Hopkins. I know we wanted more out of Hopkins, man. I think that's more of a product of the quarterback. Quay Walker did well. IDPs did decent, but your flex and the rest of your team did enough to get you at least over the hump. You got a nice lineup, bro. You continue to be shitting on people with these points, man. Joe Mixon, I think, is on your team that he's out. Cooper Kupp and TJ Hawkinson will be back sooner than later. I know they opened up the practice window on Hawkinson. Don't you have Cooper Kupp? Thought you had him. Maybe not. But you're still rattling off wins, and you got help that's coming on the way. Joe Mixon, here it is. I think he's already ruled out for week 5, but whenever you do get him back, which you don't need him at the moment, man, you'll look like a scary team, John. Great job. Moving on to number 1, we got to go to Mr. Mike B, the man, the myth, the legend, still undefeated, putting up 150 a week. Another mortal performance. No, my bad. That was last week. Far from a mortal performance, dropping 175. Man, just take a time to admire this roster. Burrow, Ken Walker finally had a Ken Walker, what we all thought drafted and held on to him for performance. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. When those two guys are on, man, it's, again, hard to beat this team. Continue to get production from Jake Ferguson, man. Anything 10 plus is great from this position, right? And this guy gives you the volume and the touchdown upside. Tyreek, you how can you not start him? I mean, you have players that you can start for him. Don't get me wrong. There's Brian Thomas that's dying and upset that why are you not playing him at the very least at the flex? But I gotta imagine you kick yourself in the ass if you saw that Tyreek went off on your bench. But again, the embarrassment of riches on this team, you can afford to put him and roll that dice. Just for the sake of the game, it'd be nice to see him put up more points, man. Nobody wants to see 8.2 performance unless they're playing you. But aside from that, man, you're still doing great, undefeated for a reason. Keep going, sir. I'm not sure who it is that you play next week. Let's look at these week 5 previews. Schedule. Scoreboard. That's what I meant to say. Strong performance, strong week that I had so far. Actually, far from it. Crazy that my kickers outperformed my running back. Extremely disappointed in the usage of Brian Robinson. Talked all this shit about Arthur Smith. And aside from last night with Pitts, look at the usage with Pitts and Robinson has been pretty much the same, man. Algiers out touching this guy, and I don't think he's half the athlete, but who am I to say anything? Kamal, 33 piece from London, man. Crazy thing is that he could have even had more. But I know this is the performance that I would have loved, envisioned. I know the reason why you held on to him. Glad that he's finally paying off, and I hope that you started him. The money team, strong IDPs. Levante David with a nice interception. Younghoe Koo with the 15 piece. I know you would have wanted some more from Godwin. I'm not sure if you started Godwin over. I'm assuming that you started Godwin over this guy. Let's take a look. Yep. And here is Evans with a 23 piece on your bench. I know that's got to suck, but it's okay. 11 is not bad, and you again have more than enough pieces to bounce back. Playing against Nick, tough opponent. No, you would have liked to have rolled Evans, though. Well, this concludes the week 5, gentlemen. Forget to like and subscribe. Peace.